kind to even Merle in those last moments when he was about to betray her. If people want to see her kind of being like soft all the time.
We had a romance though this season.
Oh yeah, and of course, yes. So,
there's a little romance, right?
Andy,
can you tell us a little bit? There's a romance, huh?
I really have to allow Andy to elaborate on his.
No, I was just joking.
But
I was in that scene and it was wild watching her, and she galloped this horse, and there's a photograph. Mike Satrazemis, one of the directors, and Cameron got this shot of you, and you held onto the horse when she did this shot. She galloped in. It was a beautiful shot, and she just went, yeah! It was an amazing.
Hello everyone, welcome back. We are about to get into season 4. Thank you everyone for watching along with me. You have helped my channel grow. I love every single one of you. Your thoughtful analysis, your feedback, everything is wonderful, and I so appreciate you being here, spending the time with me, watching and appreciating the episodes and the characters. We all have our favorites and our non-favorites, but I appreciate the respectful discourse. I know not everyone will agree with me, but that's okay, as long as we keep it respectful and have an open discourse, because that's what it's all about. There are much more serious things going on in the world, and as some of you have said, this provides a distraction, and it's about love, romance, it's about family, so it helps put us in a good headspace while being entertained, watching these people trying to survive the apocalypse and be there for each other. Season 3 was interesting. Rick and Michonne met each other. Rick and Michonne's worlds collided. We saw immediately Rick's attraction to Michonne, even though he was grieving the loss of his wife through a very tragic death and so much going on with him. There was distrust. Michonne knew about Rick and the group through Andrea. She was more on a fact-finding mission. She was being very observant, trying to assess to see if what Andrea said was true about them. And she came pretty quickly to the conclusion that yes, she could trust it, that this was a group of survivors that she could try to join and survive with them, because it's getting harder to survive on your own. She survived on her own for a very long time, but meeting Andrea, I think it brought back some of who she was and that sense of wanting to belong. As any human, we were not made to be an island. We need each other. She was going through her own trauma. Part of that manifested in her isolating herself, trying to survive alone, punishing herself for not being there for her baby. Being with Andrea brought back some of her humanity, and bringing the baby formula to Rick to help his baby survive just increased that urge in Michonne to be around others, to be with others, to become more of herself. For Rick, we saw that, he just lost Lori, so his grief is raw, it's open, it's current, it's fresh. But even through his trauma, the attraction he felt to Michonne came through. It was very clear that he was drawn to this woman. He did not trust her initially. Rick is on this journey where him being open to others has bit him in the butt. Even Carl has an issue with him letting more people in because of what happened to Laurie when he let the prisoner live, and then with the governor when he had a chance he didn't take care of him. So his initial reaction to Michonne was wariness and distrust. A woman with a samurai sword walking up to the fence, and then on top of that, Glenn and Maggie were kidnapped, so he doesn't know if this is someone he could trust. But oh my gosh, his reaction to her was hilarious. It was so obvious that she just got his hackles up. We had Claire, in which Rick decided to put Michonne to the test to see if this is someone that he could let into his group, because he has Carl and Judith to protect. So that's his first priority. There's no room for error here. So he takes her with him and Carl on a scavenge hunt for weapons to prepare for the governor, and that's where Michonne and Carl bond. Carl basically tells Rick that she belongs with us, she's one of us, and unfortunately right after that, that's when the governor gave his ultimatum that I'll call a truce, there'll be no war, you won't have to put your son and daughter at risk of being killed if you just give me Michonne. And as we saw, Rick wrestled with that. And again, his number one priority is Carl and Judith. But even then, he struggled with it, not just morally, but as Rick confessed, there was something else. So with that huge confession to Michonne, she doesn't question what the something else is. I don't even think she's even thinking in that vein that it's something else in the terms of an attraction. That's not on Michonne's radar right now. So now we're moving on to season 4, and I'm excited to see this relationship. I wouldn't even call it a friendship yet, this partnership. Michonne has joined the group. Rick has accepted her into his community. We'll see how they progress. Okay, let's get into season 4, episode 1, 30 Days Without an Accident. Let's go. Okay, here we go. Flowers. Oh, look at the bullet holes on the wall from the war with the governor. Farmer Rick. What is that? Oh, gun. Is that his gun? No, that doesn't look like his gun. Just a gun. Ooh, gross. Yes, put it back in your ear. I hear that. Those snarling and growling from the walkers.
Wake me up.
Because I knew you were up all night reading
Carl
comics with a
got
flashlight.
big.
What's up with Violet?
Violet is
I told
sick.
you not to name them. They're not piglets anymore. They're food. I don't know what's going on with her. Could be sick. Could be nothing. Feel better, Violet. Come on, let's get to it.
Morning. What's up, Dr. S?
Smells good.
Just so you know, I liked you first.
Stop.
Rick brought a lot of them, too.
Not recently.
Mr. Dixon, I just wanted to thank you for bringing that deer back yesterday. It was a real treat, sir. And I'd be honored to shake your hand.
I guess this is where Daryl got really popular in a series, because everybody's like, oh, Daryl, Daryl, Daryl. I like Daryl, but I don't see what the fanning is about in the show. It's just, they seem never ending. They just keep coming. Wow. The more they kill, the more comes. Look at that. It's like a herd.
Thing is, we had a pretty big buildup. getting as bad as last month. They don't spread out anymore.
Oh, I remember now why. Okay. So they should put some of those spikes everywhere, surround all the, around all the fencing. 'Cause so they would just all pile up in the pikes. So Maggie and Glenn. They look clean. Rick didn't look that clean. So I guess they're managing to live comfortably in the prison.
You know everything's gonna work out, right?
What are they worried about now?
Hey, beautiful.
Tyrese and Karen are an item. Tyrese likes Karen. Ooh, Beth has a little tenderoni.
Well, the council pulled back everyone on the coal crew from going on the run.
Coal, so they're using coal for cooking. I don't remember this guy.
Okay, you gonna say goodbye?
Nope.
So I guess he didn't stick around much longer.
Damn romance novel.
Oh, Bob was
Like to start pulling my weight around here.
here that
was only been a
early?
week.
I didn't remember him being in it this early. Well,
These leaves are going to be in the shade, so we won't get any good fruit from it. So, we just pinch it off here. Things break, but they can still grow.
now that we know that Rick grew up on a farm, it's interesting to see that Herschel had to teach him. I guess he was pretty young.
These little bristles, they'll take root. We'll have a whole new plant.
Let's go.
But here comes Michonne on our horse. And Rick and Carl running to greet her. See, they need those spikes all around, not just at the entrance. Look at them running to her.
Glad to see you.
Glad to see you too. Somebody hit the jackpot.
No way. Awesome. Thank you.
I'll get you reading when you're done. And I found this.
Where's the electricity, Michonne?
Your face is losing more.
Michonne brought
You gonna
Rick
stay a little while?
a gift.
Just a little while.
He's asking her if she'll stay.
Well,
So she was gone for long.
Didn't find him.
Oh, looking for the governor.
glad to see you in one piece.
You could been looking over near Macon.
Rick doesn't like that.
It's worth a shot.
70 miles of walkers. You might run into a few unneighborly times. Is it?
Daryl dissuading her.
Go check out the big spot I was talking about, seeing. Yeah, I gotta go out and check the snares. I don't want to lose whatever we catch to the walkers.
I'll go. You just got here. And I'll be back.
Michonne joining in. Oh, and what was that pat about? Daryl.
You want to check the snares?
I am. You're not. You're brushing down.
He kissed Michonne's horse.
When you go out there, you got to take your gun.
Just outside the fence. I have my knife. Get in trouble. 6 bullets isn't gonna make the difference.
Why doesn't Rick want to bring his gun? But I had to pause it there because so many things happened. Michonne came back from scouring the area for the governor, and we saw Rick and Carl's ecstasy at her being back, enthusiasm for her being back. They were just so excited, so happy to see her. That's the type of joy you see when a loved one who you miss comes home. And she brought gifts for her two boys. So the comics for Carl, and it has to be a gag gift because there's no electricity. At least I don't think so. They're using coal, but I don't think there's an outlet for him to plug it in. If there is, then it's not a gag gift, but she brought something for Rick, and she didn't bring anything for anyone else. So already we're seeing friendship, but she has friendship with Daryl. See how concerned Daryl was when she said she wanted to go back out there, and the look that Rick gave when she said that, he was very displeased, and Daryl caught that and tried to dissuade her. When Daryl told Rick that he's going on the run, Michonne immediately said, oh, she's gonna join them. It's obvious that she can't rest. She's restless. And I think she's restless because she knows the danger. There's no resolution. They cannot rest until the governor is found and taken care of, because as I said in the finale, you have to take out the monsters. You have to cut out evil. You have to get rid of it, because if you leave any part of it, it will resurface and attempt to destroy you, because that's what evil does. Its only pursuit is destruction. So she's restless. She doesn't want to rest. It's not a priority for Rick. There's something else going on with Rick. He doesn't even want to take a gun with him when he goes scavenging. I don't know if it's because of what happened with Carl, and he's trying to steer Carl in a different direction, and he's leading by example. But going after the governor is not his priority, but it is Michonne's priority, because Michonne understands who the governor is, that the threat is real and imminent. So she just wants to just keep going in her search, and then decides she's going to go on the run with Daryl, and I'm sure it's because she also wants to keep scouting for the governor. Rick is not pleased. He was very unhappy with her going, but he didn't say anything because I think he thinks it's not his place. But there is something there. Whether Michonne recognizes it or not, Carl and Rick are becoming her persons. She brought them a gift and then told Daryl that she's gonna join him on the run. And seeing Rick being unhappy about that, when they left, did you see the pat that Daryl gave Rick? It was like, I know, buddy, it's okay. Between two bros, but saying, I get it, I'll look after her. Rick is communicating his feelings for Michonne without communicating his feelings to Michonne. Even when she leaves, it lingers because, he tells Carl to take care of Michonne's horse, and while talking, he kisses the horse. But to me, it's an extension of what he's feeling for Michonne, and not being able to express his feelings to her, he transfers it to the horse, something associated with her, which was the horse that brought her back to him safely. He kissed the horse, to me, in lieu of not being able to kiss Michonne. Caring, tender, and loving kiss. Like, don't you see it? Wow. We all know from The Ones Who Live that Rick told Michonne that he was in love with his son's best friend.
I was in love with my son's best friend. I didn't know what to do.
But he didn't say exactly when that love began, and I knew he was in love with her for a while, because we're going to see more clear evidence of that throughout the seasons. But it's obvious to me that here his feelings for her were already there. In season 3 it was an attraction, but what I just saw is not just attraction. There's some deep feelings there, some tenderness, caring. You know, he missed her. He's worried about her. He's concerned for her. And his friend sees it and recognizes it and acknowledges it to Rick. It wasn't Daryl just saying, oh, bye, Rick. Seeing Rick's reaction to Michonne going back out there to look for the governor, seeing Rick's displeasure, Daryl, who is not usually so talkative, even though this episode we see him interacting and more open and friendly, he doesn't seem very much in character, to tell you the truth. He seems more like Norman Reedus, but he's seeing what Rick is feeling. He sees it and he acknowledges it and he commiserates with him. Yeah, it's like, don't worry, buddy. I'm with her. I'll take care of her. It's like an encouragement, you know, don't worry about it. And then right after that, Rick going over to the horse, caressing the horse and kissing the horse. Something that he could not do with Michonne because he's afraid of crossing that line and messing with her friendship with his son's best friend. He was in love with his son's best friend, and it's clear here that it already begun. Started as early as this. Season 4, episode 1, Rick Grimes already had feelings for Michonne. Deep feelings for Michonne. Wow. Michonne, I don't think, thinking romantically in terms of her relationship with Rick, already has an affinity to him, you know, bringing him gifts. Bringing him gifts. Oh my gosh. And the way he ran to greet her. So, that was cool. Oh, rabbit. He caught a rabbit. Oh, I remember he found some woman in the woods, but I don't remember much about the story. What is that?
Wait. Please help me.